Welcome, everybody. This is CBSI Presents Tales from Flipside. We're at number 44, boys, and this is a big one. Talk about Baltimore and other things. I'm Dino. Boys, introduce yourselves.
P-Dub's here. It's so big that I'm on camera tonight, so tune in and check it out.
This is John Z. I am on a liver cleanse after Baltimore, so I'm only drinking clear liquor tonight. So we'll see how that goes.
What's going on is Brian Wood, Simple Man's Comics. I'm back from Baltimore, back from Disney, and tomorrow at 5, I'm back to work.
Oh. What up, gents? Brian McClay, and I'm not back from Baltimore. I'm really pissed I didn't get to go to Baltimore, and I'm going to be jealous this whole show listening to their fun at Baltimore. So,
and Scott pulling up the rear. Baltimore was fun.
Asshole.
It was fun. You know what's funny about Baltimore is that I get to go to Philadelphia and see Scotty, but the best part about the whole thing is I get to eat cheesesteak.
Yeah, cheesesteaks they're fun.
So
especially John's roast pork cheesesteak.
Oh, dude, that pork is ridiculous, dude. Oh my goodness.
It's tough. It's tough to say what's better, the pork or the cheesesteak.
I'm not a big pork guy, honestly. Like, I don't eat like pork chops that are like a lot of pork stuff, but I think the pork's better than the cheesesteak.
Yeah.
So, so big news. Oh, I guess big movie came out, right? Venom. So, Sony Venom, right? So
we are Venom.
Yeah. I saw it. I know Scotty saw it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Anybody else see it? I don't think anybody else saw it, but
I didn't see it.
Scotty, what do you think? You're the big Venom guy.
I liked it.
I liked it too.
It was a little different than what I thought, but I liked it. It was good.
Were you mad about the PG-13, or did it end up decently for being PG-13, or?
I think they did. They towed the line enough, and I can understand why they probably didn't go rated R. I think they wanted to get more kids in there to see it and fall in love with the character.
And it was a little adulty.
It was. That's what I'm saying. They towed the line very well, where it was almost R, but not quite. But it wasn't cheesy, or it wasn't Peter Parker like whistling down the street, Tobey Maguire style, like that friggin' movie.
Do you think there'll be a DVD release with that 40 minutes or whatever that Tom Hardy said?
I hope so.
They cut 40 minutes.
Yeah, they cut 40 minutes out that Tom Hardy was not happy about.
Jeez.
By the way, he was a beast in it.
He was
awesome.
What's the normal trim time? Like, what was Deadpool's trim time?
I don't know. But I mean, again, Deadpool didn't really have much of a story to it either.
Well, 40 minutes.
Can we? I don't think that's on the outline, but let's talk about that after this.
What?
The Deadpool Christmas edit.
Okay. I thought it was good. Actually, I was surprised my girlfriend really liked it. I mean, she said it was better than what she expected. I know I don't want to ruin for Sean, but Sean said his wife really liked it too, so that was a plus. So.
Yeah.
They have to weigh these things. The box office and the big wigs have to weigh these things between the fans and the people who don't know what the hell they're going to see.
Mm-hmm.
So that, there's the butthurt between, oh, this isn't my Venom and blah, blah, blah. But then, you got to take the bottom line into consideration too.
Well, my cousin he's the lethal protector, man. Why isn't he rated R? I was like, well, it's like, you got to get the kids in. He was very not happy about it, but
he's a sort of lethal protector.
Yeah, kind of. So.
I mean, Venom wasn't too crazy in the first couple appearances in the comic book. Like, he wasn't that, I don't think it was rated R. I mean, here's the thing is, if Carnage comes to play, that's where you have to probably decide whether you want to do it right or bring the audience in, because that one might have to be done.
Deadpool just going video too.
What's that? Uh-oh.
Simple Man just went video.
Simple Man.
Oh, here we go, boys.
Straight out of Disney.
Started a trend.
I didn't do my hair today, so I'm out.
I don't have a webcam. I'm not cool enough.
Just pretend you haven't showered since Baltimore.
Yeah. But I think people are gonna like it. I don't.
No, did you go to AMC?
No,
I didn't get the promo comic. I went to MJR.
No, it's funny. Like, people want to. if the people want to talk shit on it, I mean, let's be honest. Like before Kate started doing Venom, I mean, Venom hasn't been Venom himself.
I mean, yeah. I mean, how many iterations of Venom, Venomize, whatever you want to call it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably smart to keep it PG-13 so you can get more. I think kids are gonna like him, and I think it's good long term for the character.
Well,
And
Venom doesn't have the same R rating as Deadpool does. It's for
No.
two different reasons. Like Venom R rated would be violence only, which is
it's like Predator, dude.
which is not going to attract adults.
No.
Like, it's not going to attract that crowd. Whereas Deadpool had an R rating. Yeah, there was violence, but it was truly just that crude
Slapstick.
side, just unexpected humor.
Well, Emiliano had a good point in the chat. He's saying he thinks the next Venom is where it's at. So, I mean, again, with the bottom line, they have to build their base outside of the people who are already fans. You have to use a movie to get more fans. So,
And it did well in the box office. I mean, 80
Yeah,
million over
exactly.
the weekend. So I mean, that's apparently a record for October.
I mean, and boys, I went to see it opening weekend. I'm like Coy. I hardly ever see movies opening weekend.
Well, and Logan was R, but Wolverine had how many movie appearances and how many events to build that brand. He had a decade to pull an R rated off and do okay. It wasn't a money breaking type movie. It did well, but it didn't kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I found kind of interesting is listening to everybody on the way out. Like most people had positive things to say, like women, men. Like there wasn't really anybody who was like, "Oh, that sucked," or
what was the issue with what was up with that comic? It was at certain theaters, all theaters.
AMC theaters were giving them
AMC only.
AMC only. Yeah, I don't even know what it's going for. And then the other spec tip is, I guess I looked on a comic book website, like a store, and I guess Venom 150 is free now with a purchase. I saw. So
I'll tell you what.
Jimmy's going to get that signed by Tom Hardy, I think.
Has anybody read the new run from Cates?
now is it good?
It's good. I like it. I mean, I'm a Cates fanboy, so.
Oh god.
Hey man, guy writes good stories.
He writes every story.
Yeah.
Since-
Those
Well, I mean, Marvel's being smart. They're like nobody else can write good shit, so just pay
I
this
think
guy.
those books are selling around $14 shipped.
Oh, that's not bad.
Would you
I'm
say,
gonna pick
Brian?
up
I
a
missed it.
couple. Wood or me?
No, Wood. Sorry, Wood. What'd you say?
I said Donnie Cates writes every story right now.
I
yeah.
think that comic that AMC was giving away is a pretty cool pickup, just because it's got the Tom Hardy as the actor cover type thing, right? So I think that's probably something that could see a little bit of increase over the next year or so.
Probably not a lot of 9/8s either.
Exactly. That's a perfect Jimmy book, one of those books that he hounds him in Toronto and gets him to sign it or something,
Yep. And then I guess we're talking about I guess this is all Paul. Mondo Master Universe toys. So I'm sure Wood's all about this.
Those are gorgeous.
Yes. I think almost got Z to buy one.
What was the first one released?
He-Man.
He-Man.
Yeah,
I threw that Skeletor image in there because that's just fucking. I don't know if
Yeah.
that glows or what, or if that's.
that's why.
black
Yeah,
light.
I definitely bought one of the He-Man.
I'm gonna buy one of the Skeletors. I think that Skeletor is just absolutely beautiful.
Is the Skeletor available?
I'm
Not
not
yet.
sure yet.
No, not yet.
How much is it?
Skeletor is badass. The He-Man was 185, so probably the same.
Yeah.
But I got the Mondo exclusive.
Oh, it's a
So-
Skeletor head.
Yeah,
Now, if they come out with a faker, my money's down. I'm done.
they will.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get a faker. That was one of my all-time favorite figures, and for some reason, it seems like anytime something of his comes out, it's either hard to find or super, super expensive.
Mhm.
Well, there was a on-card faker at Baltimore day one but it was so ugly. Like Sean and I looked at it, and maybe one of the other guys, I don't remember, somebody else was probably next to us, and we're all like, that would be really cool if like the card wasn't yellow and like even the figure was kind of yellowed.
Yeah, I hate that. The
Like,
bubble. The bubble was probably all yellow.
Yeah, and you're like, I'm not gonna put money on one like that. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right.
And another thing, like I think I'm moving away. Like if it's personal collection, I'm moving away to having stuff mint on card. Not for everything, but for a lot of stuff. If it's going to be in my PC, I kind of want to take it out of the package and display it,
Nice. Yeah, I'm torn because there's a lot of things that I really like that I want to open, but I'm like, I might want to sell this one day.
Hey, you're becoming me. I like it.
No, it's just certain things.
I think I'm just gonna have to go back to my parents' house and in the basement. I'm sure there's enough action figures that didn't get completely destroyed that I could display.
Those hats were pretty cool. You found,
Dude, I want that Venom hat. That's dope, man.
Dude, if you want to see the Venom hat live and you're in Northern Indiana the weekend after next, come to MonsterCon in South Bend and I will be rocking it.
I'm kind of jealous.
Circa 1993, maybe.
Yeah, it seems like 93.
So
yeah,
Scott,
yeah.
Scott, you said you pre-ordered the Mondo exclusive He-Man, right?
Yeah.
So did it charge you then, or does it charge you when you ship, or did you do the payment plan, or?
I did it on PayPal. Yeah, I just gave him the money right away.
Scott's a hoss, man. Okay, you're in hoss mode.
Well, yeah, because Sideshow, if you do like pay full, you don't pay until you ship, and it sucks because you have to track a $500 purchase for like 6 months.
If I'm buying it, I'd rather get the money out of my hands and not have to worry about it. Ship it to me in 6 months. I'll forget I bought it.
Yeah, because I did that once with a Superman statue. I had to like cancel because I was like, "Oh crap, it's about to charge me like $500."
Oh yeah.
Did you guys see the that Punisher statue?
Yeah, I think it was awesome.
It's really tempting. I don't have anything of that caliber.
How tall was that one? Was that 24?
Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah, they're usually about between 21 and 24. The premium format figures.
And what was that? We're on an 800.
Probably
I think it
465 to 5 something.
I think it was like 600, wasn't it?
Might be. I can't get a price for it.
I can't get into statues, man. I don't.
What are their payments? Like $50 a month or $125 or what?
You can set it up. Like if you do it right when they announce it, you can set it up for like 6 month payments, or you can make it 1 payment, 2 payments. But it's better to do it right when they announce it, so that way you can spread your payments for like $50 a month.
Jeez,
Come on, Paul.
it's tempting.
Paul, be a man today.
Yeah, buy something big.
Yeah, my Mumra comes out like November, December.
Nice.
Come on, peer pressure, Paul. We got to be the cool
Peer
kids,
pressure.
man.
Yeah, sure. I just ordered it.
The funny thing is, knowing you probably just did.
I bought slabs on the way back to your house after Baltimore.
Oh, you did. You did pull the man card. You dropped some big money on that. So
Fuck it.
yeah, you don't care. Who cares? I'm Paul.
That's right. It's just
I bought
paper.
something big too, and I returned it promptly today. So
Oh, why?
I just didn't like it.
Oh yeah.
The Nintendo Switch, yeah.
It wasn't for you.
Yeah, so
I mean,
My coffee is kicking in.
for 4
you-
games, yeah.
Did you get Zelda?
No, I got Odyssey, Super Mario Odyssey. My girlfriend beat it in like an hour, or like not an hour, but like a day, man. She beat it in like 1 day, man.
I have a friend that got the Zelda, the Switch for Zelda, basically, and so he's already a Zelda fan to begin with. So,
Oh
this
man,
might
it's
be
cool.
but he said that Zelda game is one of the best games he's ever played.
I mean,
So-
it's cool, and I thought, yeah, but I mean, after Zelda and Super Mario Odyssey and Octopath Traveler, maybe it's like, what games are out there? Not really too many. With
Yeah.
Splatoon, I mean, I'll pass on it.
So I don't know anything about Ice Cream Man, but it's being made into a TV series, and I think Dan Piercy reads it, but I think he's in bed right now, so I don't see him in the chat. But what
Scott, did you
Ice
read it,
Cream
man?
Man is going to get
No.
a series? Like, is it horror? Is it creepy,
It's-
weird horror?
yeah.
Is it?
I read like the
AMC?
first 2 issues. It's kind of set up like Creep Show, Tales from the Crypt, where like each one has a couple stories in it.
So it's mini stories that that link together like Stephen King novels over time in a universe, or what?
I'm not gonna go with all that, but yeah,
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea.
I think Paul. I think it's just like each story sits on its own, kind of.
yeah.
The closest I've gotten to Ice Cream Man was that creepy ass ice cream truck in Baltimore.
Get your ice cold water,
Ice, cold.
mommy,
cold.
daddy, mommy.
Water.
Oh Jesus!
So there's Dan. There's Dan in the chat. He said it's gotten better every issue. That doesn't tell me anything about the series. So
Way to go, Dan. Nice job, Dan.
Ice cream for, I don't know.
He's like,
Whatever.
it's good.
It's good.
That Punisher format figure's not for sale yet, by the way.
God, isn't it nice though? God, I just know that I'm gonna spend $800 on a statue and break it.
Paul's
I
problem.
mean, you're gonna be, I'm gonna be super gluing it within a year. I don't know. Anyway, what's next? NYCC Trailers.
Yeah, I just put that up there because I mean, there's a lot of trailers that came out. I didn't know if anybody saw the link or watched them all or doesn't care, but I mean, they had Titans out there. They had the Harley Quinn first episode.
So
That
it's hard to-
Titan ones was kind of weird.
I mean, I already heard they got the second season already not planned out, but they already optioned it for a second season. Then the first episode hasn't even came out yet.
Well, when they showed Robin, the only thing I could think of was Chris O'Donnell. Like, his costume didn't look. I mean, his costume looked terrible in my opinion. It looked like the Chris O'Donnell Batman.
Hey, what's wrong with Chris O'Donnell? You trying to throw some shade on Chris O'Donnell?
Listen, I'm not even excited for it.
You're
There
not?
you go.
It
There
looks
you
terrible.
go.
Well, I mean, maybe it's better with some CGI effects in it.
I don't know. I even read some reviews, and somebody's like, I don't know how you take the most fun team in comics and make them dreary. The only bright spot the review said was like Beast Boy was good, but he's in it like for 8 minutes in the first 3 episodes.
The CGI is expensive, man.
It sounds like a shit show.
Very interesting.
So what is the Harley Quinn? Harley Quinn's an ongoing cartoon episode on their streaming service. Is that right or no?
Yeah. Doesn't it have the other chick from Big Bang in it now doing the voice? Kelly Kowalski.
Yeah.
Kaylee Coco? Is that her?
Got to keep the income.
Kelly Yum Yum.
Sorry, man. This coffee is strong tonight. So the Aquaman trailer, was it a trailer? It's more like a scene. It's 5 minutes.
I saw the trailer. Well, I saw the trailer at before Venom. Dude, I was
all 5 minutes? A 5-minute trailer?
It was pretty long. I mean, I felt like I saw the whole movie.
Where they went to where they went to the desert and they spurted some sweat on a tube and some guy appeared with a fork.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it. I thought I was like, man, I'm like, it could be. I kind of told my girlfriend. She's like, what do you think? I'm like, I mean, it's Aquaman and it's MoMA, but I was like,
I don't know.
It's trying too hard, man. Trying too hard, but
5-minute sneak peek, Emiliano's calling it. So sneak peek versus trailer versus entire scene, whatever.
I think that movie's going to be decent.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, I need to see more. I mean, if it's just Jason being a badass that he is, I mean, I've seen it.
Comparing it to other DC movies, yeah, decent.
Well, I mean, is that the measuring block for DC movies now? Well, it's not Superman, Batman horrible. I mean, is that what we're going to go with?
Pretty much. Martha.
Why did you say that?
Of all the names you could say, what brings Martha to your lips?
I think it's got a chance to be good. It
I mean,
like
it
feels like it's not taking itself too fucking seriously.
Well,
I mean, it's not like they're riding on the high heels of a gigantic blockbuster. You know what I mean? The CGI looks good. Emiliano says, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, it looks good. I mean, I'm not saying the movie's going to look like dog shit, but I mean, what
Now,
substance is it going to have? That's all I care about.
It's kind of a backstory-ish, but have you guys seen the video comparison with the Black Panther trailer side by side?
No.
You should. If I find a link and remember, I'll try and post it. But it's basically kind of a mirror image of the Black Panther original trailer, which is kind of funny. But
Well, I mean, it worked for Black Panther, right? I mean,
that's right.
we can skip number 3 too.
Yep, I'm deleting the outline as we go along.
Oh wow.
That's right. Let's be real. Language warning.
Okay, so I guess the creme de la creme is Baltimore. We're gonna talk about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people were here in Baltimore. So
you guys, I'm telling you right
There
now,
would have been more, but I don't think the rest made it back.
that's true. Yeah, they're still in jail, pending sentencing.
or maybe dead on the side of the road.
I will tell you guys that is I had so much fun. I was seriously considering not coming next year, just saving money and putting it towards some other stuff. But I think I can't. I have to go. Like, just
You can't miss it.
But
Exactly.
but Paul's going to be financially irresponsible, and he's going to go to Baltimore.
I did the
again.
math. You can do the trip, financially responsibly. But
It's not the trip that's expensive per se. It's the after hours activities that just get out of control.
Damn Washington apples.
you got to go Subway, man. Just eat
When
Subway,
somebody cuts down the whole tree, it gets
Oh.
pricey.
Or you just be like me and just don't do the after party because I'm lame. But
No, I'm telling you though, that was I don't know. Obviously, I'm speechless, but I'm going next year.
oh no, we're not speechless. I can fill in all the gap for you, buddy.
Can I just say I kind of had forgotten a lot of stuff, and I was out with some friends last night, and you got about 7 drinks in, and all of a sudden my brain goes, "Oh God!" Like I spurted something out. My wife looks at me and goes, "You said what?"
No,
What?
shit. What'd you
Like she wasn't mad, but she's like, "You've been home a week and didn't bring this up." And I don't want to spoil it because I feel like we can work into these things, but I literally had kind of just blanked out some of the 2 a.m. highlights going, "Oh, yeah, that was different."
Should we start with me and Paul's epic vacation ride to get to Baltimore and Philadelphia?
I think
Hey,
chronologically.
It did not start with a flat tire this year. That is the first plus.
That is a plus. So Paul gets to my house and it's cool, no problem so far. He goes, "Hey Dino, can you help me? Get my bags?" I'm like, "Oh God, here we go." So I look in the back of his car. He has 2 suitcases, and I'm like, "Bro, what is this?" He goes, "Oh, I just was messing with you, man." So I was like, "Oh, okay, funny, haha." Then he grabs the bigger of the 2 suitcases and said, "This is it," and it was. And I was like, "Oh God." So
I am doing 100% carry on next year.
no, you're not.
I guarantee it.
Well,
There's no way you could cut out all the stuff you bring.
I'm gonna ship it to you.
How are you going to do carry on with your weapons pack?
Yeah.
Monkey Fist made it through the way back. This is jumping ahead.
No, don't jump ahead. Don't jump ahead. This is okay. So we get. So I'm like, "Hey, Paul, did you check in, Paul?" He's like, "Nah, I'm gonna do it at the kiosk." I'm like, "Well, Spirit, bro, it's like they charge you like to do everything." So I'm like, "You should do it at my house." He's like, "Okay, no problem." So he's like logging into my computer, shutting off all the porn, and I was like, "Okay, no problem, dude." And he's like, "Hey, did you have a carry-on?" I was like, "Yeah, dude." He goes, "Did it charge you for a carry-on?" I said, "No, I had to select it." He goes, "Well, my ticket already says a carry-on." I'm like, "That's kind of weird." So I said, I don't know. I go, "Can you put it like down to 0?" And it wouldn't let him. So he goes, "Maybe I thought my backpack was my carry-on." I was like, "No, that's your personal item, bro." Or he's like, "Maybe I was thinking about I was gonna do a carry-on." I'm like, I don't know, Paul. So what happened, Paul?
I was living in a fantasy world. So when I originally booked my ticket, I think I was like I am right now, dead set on carry on only. It's like, all right, that's it. I'll pay the fee now and I'll be good later.
Mm-hmm.
So I get to Dino's house and I was like, the measurements don't add up. The weight's definitely not going to add up. So this is a check bag. So I get there, I pay the extra, man, I don't know, $40 or something stupid, and pay for my check bag. And then I get in there. We have a wait till our flight board. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna see if I can sweet talk customer service.
This is an ongoing theme. This is going to be an ongoing theme throughout this thing.
Oh, well, we skipped the Uber. Well, let's go back to that. But
yeah.
So I call them, and I call them, and long story short, I'm really nice, and they give me a one-time credit deal, and they're like, all right, so we'll refund you the, I think it was $30. We'll refund you the $30 check-in fee, but it's valid for 90 days. And so I'm thinking to myself, should I call back in 85 days and see if I extend it? Or should I just text my wife and say, hey, you know, where do you want to go? You know, and Dina's like, so you're going to spend $1,500 to save $30?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
You just used it on the way back.
No, we flew Delta.
No, I flew. We already had a different airline booked, so I was already fucked before I started taking my pants off.
So basically, okay, so that, I mean, we got to that part, but then, so before we even get to the airport, Paul orders an Uber. He goes, "Hey man, I'll order the Uber." And I'm
because
like,
cool.
cool.
I owe Dino. So
Okay.
I'm like, all right, I'll cover this, and it'll all work out.
So the Uber's like slowly driving down my street. I'm like, what is it doing? What is it doing? And it's like scrolling. He's like, I'm like, hey, I think the Uber's here, man. And I'm like waving him down. He's not seeing it. He's not seeing it. He's like way halfway down the street from where I live. I'm like, okay. So what happened is Paul put the wrong address in after he asked me what the address was. Then we get to the airport and he puts the wrong designation in for the airport. So the guy can't and then Paul's like, I'm trying to rate you or whatever he's doing, receipt or whatever Paul's doing. The guy's like, yeah, it's a wrong address. So we had to spend another 5 minutes trying to figure that all out. So that was my Uber ride. So Paul's problem was already starting. So he didn't get the origin or the destination right. So,
but meanwhile, I was bragging to the driver like, yeah, I messed up the pickup, but I know the destination. You know, we're going to the airport. And then I told him, like, on the way, he's like, so which airline are you going to? And I told him Spirit. So when we actually parked, he's like, yeah, I know where that is. So I thought we were good. But when we parked, like, the map on my phone said he had to do some big loop. And I'm like, well, hey, you know, I don't want to just stiff you or whatever. I'd like to give you a tip. And so do you have to drop me off? Do you have to, like, hit completed, etc.? And he says, oh, yeah, that's because you had me drop you off at, like, the north terminal. And here we are at, like, the east terminal or some bullshit. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, typical.
That guy felt the wrath of Paul's problems.
Pretty much. I just think it was funny. He talked himself up and then.
It's like, no, actually, you fucked it up too.
Yeah.
Can I side note? Did you guys get into the airport Sunday? Was it backed up to all gods? Jesus?
No, it wasn't bad. I got a story for that one too. It's my own story.
Not inside, but like the driving through, like the cars were a mess.
No, we didn't have that problem.
Oh, man, it was a disaster for us.
We had a nice one for the way back. She like stopped for Sean and like dropped him off. It was good times. So,
all right. Man, it was like 10 minutes to get to the terminal, 1 mile.
So let's see what else happened. Oh, so we get to Scott's house or we go to Philly, no problems, right? The bigger issue is that for Scotty is we sent our books like Monday. Sean sent him over from California on Monday, and Scott's call like panic mode on Wednesday night, and he's like, "Bro, they're not here, bro. What's going on?" And I'm like, "I don't know, dude. Like he shipped them." And he's like, the guy didn't leave a receipt. Did he come? Did he not come? Did he not care?
He didn't even try to deliver it.
He didn't even try to deliver it. So Scott's freaking out, and I'm freaking out about it. I'm like, because basically that's all our CGC on-site books pretty much. So if they don't come, I mean, it's pretty much a wasted trip, to be honest with you. So Scott's like, so it kind of affects us because Scott's like, I'll pick you up from the airport. Well, that kind of got thrown out the window because he's like, if these books don't come, I got to stay at the house and you guys get an Uber, which is not that big of a deal. I mean, it really wasn't. And I was like, Scott, do what you got to do. So he's like, he's freaking out, and then we call. Okay. and then we call, and then it's.
A lot of curry.
And so what happened was, So he calls, and then he calls me. It's like what, Thursday at like what, 11 or 12 before we get on the flight, and he's like, the books came.
Yeah,
I was like,
I decided to take off. I was at work with my dad, and I'm like, look, I can't be here. I got to go home. I can't miss these books because.
And the bad part was, it wasn't like we're just like throwing him in a box. Like, he had Wonder Woman freezing books that he wanted to get SS, and he had to window them and stuff. So it wasn't like it's gonna be like just pick the books up and leave. Like, he had to do some stuff. Like,
Plus,
it wasn't,
we had to get our invoices together.
Yeah, we had to get our invoices together, and like some books I wasn't gonna take, and some books so it was a little bit. But
and we had to go through all Paul's books.
Yeah, I had to go through all.
Dude, you saved my ass. On
No. Let's talk about Paul's problem number 2 of you filling out your TGC form.
No, not trying to wash my clothes at Scott's house.
No, we're gonna get to that part.
We're
gonna get to that part. We're gonna get to that part. The first part is,
wait, you let him fill out his own form?
Yeah, I did. So basically,
he's never done that before, right?
We walked him through.
We walked him through it. But the problem was like originally he had $1,000 in grading fees.
I think the last time I had to do his form.
I know. We're making it's one step at a time.
Look, okay. You gotta let him. You gotta throw him in the water and see if he can swim.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, he has he has all these books, right? I mean, how many books did you have, Paul?
Like $1,000 worth, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Like 35
moderns.
22.
Yeah. Most of them were.
Yeah, most of them were.
Like, I didn't have that much, and I had 2 of them in the $90 tier.
Yeah. So, Paul, why don't you explain what you were going to try to have graded?
All right, here I actually have the list here on my PC, on my my computer.
Of course you do.
No, I did. So, all right, so here we go. So, first of all, number 1, for those of you on YouTube, tune into, I don't know, an hour and 45 minutes into the podcast. This is the best, because I'm on camera right now. That's what I'm saying. So let me just tell you, the best book that got graded at Baltimore Comic-Con this year is this.
Fucking Belligerent Kitty.
Belligerent Kitties, just the best. I mean, I don't know, it's all glare and whatnot. But so for those in the CBSI community, Belligerent Kitties is a collection of art that includes a special piece by our very own Dan Piercy. And Dan Piercy sent me this book. He signed the inside, but it's still blue label, because apparently if you sign the inside, it's blue label.
It is.
But I took pictures beforehand because I had to document that.
Of course you did.
Hey, why don't you crack that open, buddy?
Yeah, maybe I can get a 9.9. But so anyway, that was the best. I had tears in my eyes when I saw that was a 9.8, because I just think it's the best. Like, I don't know, you can't top that, because it's one of our own.
Sean didn't know what it was, and I told him don't worry about it, and he goes, "It's on paper, bro, like regular paper, like, you know, like." I'm like, I know, just do what you got to do.
This is the best. This is just the best. Beyond Turtles, this is my number 1, because
wow.
I'm gonna have Dan Piercy sign the case. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I think you got a little crush on Dan Piercy.
I just think it's hilarious. I think it's awesome.
He showed it to me, and he had 2 copies, and he goes, "Bro, which one do you think is going to be 9.8?" So I had to make the decision of which one I think was going to be 9.8.
Well, I made the decision to not grade the rest of his books for him.
That was a smart decision.
So that's what I'm getting at. So that was the question: is what else did I have? So I had a heavy PC submission of the Shadow Year 1 number 3E virgin cover, the Shadow Year 1 number 4 virgin cover. I'm just going down the list real quick. Betty Page number 6, a 1 in 20 listener virgin. IDW TMNT number 5, retailer incentive cover. IDW number 65, retailer incentive. Those 2 are like Christmas covers. I'm kind of working on a Turtles Christmas cover collection on the side. Turtle Mania, which I apparently should have graded in hindsight, not thinking, because Scott threw me for a loop. And then I had 5 of the Edge of Spider-Verse number 5 variants, which all came back 9.8, which I was banking on paying for the rest of the submission. And then I had a couple Adventures of Superman 14 first and second print. And then the last 2 real quick were Catwoman 65, a Joker swipe cover for PC, and then Batgirl 16 Joker
But wait a
for
second.
PC.
But wait a second. These were all PC books, weren't they?
No, yeah, the submission was very heavy PC because I don't sub. I sub once a year, and that's Baltimore. That's it.
So then here was my question to Paul. Why do you need to do on-site when you could do pre-screen or slow track and pay half price? Blew his mind.
Well, and then the other thing too is if it's for PC, why do you need to grade 5 copies of the same book if it's for PC?
Yeah.
That was the other thing that blew his mind.
Which one did I have? I didn't have 5.
That's that Jock Superman cover. You had 5 of them.
Oh yeah, because I was going to submit the best 2 or something. I don't know.
Oh God.
And you know the funny thing is he goes to me, well, which one should I submit? I was like, I wouldn't submit any of them. I was like,
you're supposed to pick the best 2 before you have them pressed.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I go, well, what are they selling for? He goes, I don't know. I was like, well, why don't you find that out? So he checks that out. He goes, it's only selling for like $50. I was like, so you really don't want to put. You really don't want to put 30.
Buy a 9.8.
Yeah, well, you really don't want to put $30
that's the
into
funnier
it.
part because he missed out on a 9.8 like that weekend for like $50.
Oh God, I hate it. I looked up on eBay. How did I miss this? I would have just bought it outright. It could have saved me so much time. And
so now, but it's all right. We got them on pre-screen for some of his.
Paul, can I just ask a question?
You could try.
I know. It's frivolous.
You can ask, but you might not get the answer you want.
All right, Paul. So here's just a question: these random modern books that currently have no resale value nor significant collectability, shadow virgin variants and whatnot.
Yeah.
Why are you grading them for the PC?
I like them.
But do they need to be graded?
No, but I like them. Why not?
Are you going to display them graded?
Yeah.
I want to caveat this.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Because I want to
you
display
answered the question. You are going to hang them on your wall and display them graded.
Wait a second.
Absolutely.
This is coming.
Okay.
This is coming from the kid who collects double clown covers and the most obscure shit on the planet. I want to put this in hindsight here.
Got him.
Got him.
I will give you that, but mine is a 1940s Golden Age book with Frazetta art with a double cover in 8.0.
I mean, whatever you collect is cool. That's what I'm trying to circle back to.
So,
I'm more just saying, did it need graded? Do they need graded versus just hang a shelf like B Woods, put them in some Mylards, and hang them up?
Yeah, there's need versus want, and I'm more of a want. The only thing that I think I goofed up is I should have just submitted that Turtle Mania, no matter what, at the show, along with that Belligerent Kitties.
Yeah.
But because I confused, because Scott threw such a wrench in my thought process that I was like, I would just whittle this down to strictly Flip, which is the Edge of Spider-Verse. But then the Belligerent Kitties, I couldn't wait because it's just too great.
Well,
so,
we all made mistakes. I made mistakes too. We will talk about that. But
I think I said it best though. I think Simple Man was there with me. Maybe not. It could have been Ozzy. As we were sitting at one of the booths on Sunday, and Paul is looking at giant fucking statues that maybe are on sale, and the guy's like, "Yeah, just go ahead and buy it." And I'm like, "He might." Paul is just id. There's no thinking. He just does what he feels he wants to do at the time.
I gotta replace that Harley statue that Dino.
oh my goodness!
You are completely just driven by.
He told me he was going to be a big boss and start selling. He's going to open up an eBay store and he's starting to flipping books and he's going to be a player in the game. That's what he told me.
I was thinking that.
I mean, he made some good deals with Carl, but we can talk about that too. So where do we leave off on? So
we haven't left my house yet.
Yeah. So after we go through the TGC ordering form, Paul's like, "Hey, bud." Okay, so he gets stuck between two big dudes on the plane, right? We all had that problem. We all know. So he goes. "Hey, Scott, can I use your shower? I got kind of sweaty on the plane." Okay, I understand it, right? Long day of travel, you're sweaty, you're kind of gross. Cool, no problem, right? And then
the next question got me.
So he gets out of the shower everything went fine, no problems. He goes, "Hey Scott, can I use your laundry? I want to really wash these clothes." And I'm like, and Scott looks at me, and I just give him the shrug, man. I'm like, Scott goes, "Me casa su casa," and Paul kind of took it serious, and I'm like, I said there, I was like, he looked at me, I'm like, I don't know, bro. I'm like, he goes, and Scott out of the kindness of his heart, he goes, "Yeah, sure, dude." And then the next question goes, "Is all your stuff in the laundry room downstairs? Like the detergent and stuff?" And Scott's like, "Yeah, where do you think it would be?"
I honestly thought it's one of, sometimes people ask you questions and you're like, all right, this is a trick question. Because you really wouldn't be asking me this.
Yeah.
But yes, it's downstairs.
So Paul goes, "Cool." So he takes his one set of clothes he had and he throws it in the washer at Scott's house, which is fine. Okay. I mean, it happens. So he throws it in, then he throws it in the dryer, and then we all go to bed. Now, hindsight on the bed situation. So Scotty's air mattress got blown apart or something, which is fine. So out of kindness of my heart, I told Paul that I said, "Hey, I know you have some back problems. You can have the couch." So guess what Dino got to sleep on? A half a cushion of a couch and 2 pillows.
That's not a half a cushion. That's like 3/4 of a cushion.
Okay.
It's a long cushion.
Yeah. So basically it went from my head to like around my ass. So my feet were on the hardwood floor, which I didn't care about. And then I had 2, would you call it decorative pillows? I guess you would call them.
They would be classified as decorative pillows.
Yes. So that was my bed, which I didn't have a problem with. I slept okay once I got to sleep. So we sleep fine.
What are you talking about? You could sleep anywhere. You fell asleep in 10 seconds in the car.
Oh, dude, that's money, dude. That's what my girlfriend's jealous about that. So I said, "Hey, when you live in the streets like I did," so basically, so we get up, we say, "Hey, Emiliano is going to come because he rode up with us, and he's going to get where it's got like 9:30 maybe."
Yeah, we were trying to get on the road by 9:30.
So everybody knew this, and Paul goes, "Yeah, okay." I go, "Paul, we're going to be out of here by 9:30." And everything was fine. And then all of a sudden, I said, me and Scott are like, "Hey, we're going to take showers separately, obviously." And he goes, and we'll get ready, and then we'll leave. And Paul, all of a sudden, after me and Scott get out of the shower and we pack our stuff, Paul goes, "Hey, you guys mind if I take a shower?" Literally just took a shower. What?
I don't. Paul was at my house for maybe 10 hours. He took 2 showers and did a load of laundry
in 10 hours. So that was interesting. And then we're like, "Hey man, we got to leave." And he's like, "Oh, I got to pack. I got to do all this stuff. And I just literally rolled his case out of it. I go, "Paul, we're leaving right now. We're leaving." And then we get in the car. We had to pack Paul's stuff in first because he has the biggest suitcase on the planet for 3 days. And we have books and we have all this crap. And I got Scotty to buy a bag off eBay that night, which was cool. Did you get it yet, bud?
Yeah, it came in.
Is it nice?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Awesome. So we say, "Hey, we're going to go breakfast, and then we're going to go up to Baltimore, which is 90 minutes away. So that's an hour and a half." So we get there. We're kind of on schedule, which is cool. We get to the cafe or diner, I guess, in Philly.
It's a diner.
Yeah, it's a diner. So do you want to explain the diner scenario, Scott?
Well, we got to skip back a little bit to Scott's dryer situation.
Oh, I forgot about the dryer situation. I'm sorry.
This is where Paul's problems really came into play.
Man, so Scott failed to tell me about his dryer's delicate situation.
Which is, I understand that. I mean, that's a Scotty boo-boo. I'm going to not play that as Paul's problems. I mean, this should have been common knowledge, but it wasn't.
I didn't expect anybody to do laundry.
But that is true too.
So I put my laundry in at like what, 9 o'clock at night, maybe. Yeah. And I set the timer and
you did not set the timer.
No, he set it on automatic. So like he thought the timer would go off.
I turned the dial to whatever, and so I let it go.
Get my shit clean. That's what it was.
Yeah, or dry. To dry it. Yeah. And my one set of clothes. So we wake up the next morning, we're getting ready, and so first of all, I couldn't find this tank top, which apparently I'd left in the washer. so it was still soaking wet. But first,
Yeah, that's what made us late. We had to wait for the fucking tank top to dry.
Yeah. So he's like, he's freaking out about it. He's like, dude, I got to get this dry. We're like, dude, we got to go. He's like, I'm throwing it in the dryer. I'm like, Paul, we are leaving.
But I go down at like, I don't know what time it was in the morning.
Like 8, maybe 8:30.
8 a.m. So 11 hours later, and the dryer's still going. I'm like, what the fuck? And so Scott's apparently his timer's goofed up in his dryer. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm glad I didn't burn your house down, man.
No. Again, the timer's not. If you use the timer, it goes off. If you use the automatic setting, it doesn't. It never tells it to shut off.
Whatever I used, I almost burnt Scott's house down.
Well, I'm waiting for Scott to see his electric bill and then forward it right to you. So,
I mean, it's not the first time it's happened.
Okay, so that was the dryer scenario, and then we finally get out of the Scott's house, which I'm sure his roommate's happy about, and B, I'm sure Scott's electricity bill's happy about. So basically, we get to the diner, and this is where Paul's problems kind of begins a little bit. So
it's already began. Oh, what happened at the diner? I thought the diner went fine.
No, it didn't.
You did take forever to eat.
You took forever to eat.
You were going to order cheesecake at 9:30 in the morning.
I should have gotten that cheesecake. So that muffin sucked.
Well, you didn't listen to us. We said get it toasted with butter, and you're like, no, I don't want to. I'm like, all right, dude, then enjoy your shitty muffin.
So basically, let's talk about his ordering situation.
Oh, yeah. Paul, if you guys ever have a chance to eat with Paul, please do.
I do it on the reg. I do not expect anything less.
When he orders, it's an event. When he orders, it's great.
I make my own menu.
You really do. Like, Paul mixes and matches. He's like, I want some of that mixed with that. And
so basically the girl, so he gets this stuff. He gets a number, like a number 6. It's like a combo or something. And she goes, well, how do you like your, is it golden fries, Scotty?
Hope fries.
Home fries. She goes, well, how do you like your home fries? And he would look perplexed. And I was like, this is going to be awesome.
He was very confused. Yeah.
And he goes, I don't want home fries. Can I sub that for an orange juice? Because any normal person would hate hash browns and try to sub that for an orange juice. And he looked at him like, no. And B, it comes with orange juice. So that was the first of many Paul problems. Then
it was great.
And then once we got that squared away, we all get up, Emiliano, Scotty, and me. We get done. We're like paying the bill, ready to go, and then all of a sudden, Paul goes, "Can I get a coffee?" I'm like, "Okay, cool. He's gonna get one for the road, maybe. That's cool." And then all of a sudden, he goes, "Can I get a slice of cheesecake?" I'm like, "Bro, it's 8:00 in the morning." I made him legitimately feel bad about it, and I'm sorry, Paul. I didn't mean to, but I kind of did. I was like, "Where the fuck did you see cheesecake at?" And he goes, I saw it in the glass door, the glass window. I'm like, where was that at? He goes, you didn't see it, bro? He goes, it looks great. I'm like, it's 8:00 in the morning.
After he just ate a meal.
Yeah. And he goes, fine, I'll get a muffin. So he literally gets up from the area and he hunts down the waitress. He goes, you know what? I don't want a cheesecake, I want a blueberry muffin. And then proceeded to yell at that was the driest muffin on the planet.
God, it was terrible muffin. It was a mistake.
After I sat there and said, we got to go. And he goes, fine, I'll just eat half of it like a little kid. But I did feel bad about it. But
no, dude,
I was like, dude, we got to go, man. We can't be spending like 3 hours here at the diner. So,
hey, Paul, for what it's worth, I'm on that cheesecake first thing in the morning type thing.
Man. It goes good with coffee, but then I got the muffin, and the muffin was a mistake. And so next year I'm getting cheesecake, and I'm doing a carry-on.
Especially if you're drinking the night before, anything is good in the morning, right?
Well, we didn't even do that.
Didn't drink the night before.
So we get.
I don't think you want to travel with Paul after he's drinking.
Oh God! Oh, I'll go to that story. I got a story for that one too. I got a lot of stories here. So we get done at the diner. We get to the con.
McClay's gonna get to Baltimore before we do.
Yeah, pretty much. So we're at the con, right? Me and Scott in the very beginning, we kind of lead the show, right? Which was probably a mistake. As we
definitely chose the wrong line.
Yeah. So
this is the one good move we thought Paul did.
Yeah. So
which
basically
might be contributed to Emiliano because he's on here, and I think he actually maybe made the decision, but Paul agreed.
Yeah. So basically, me and
Paul, which was against all logic.
Yeah. So basically, me and Scotty are up first, and they're like, "Hey, the line to start is over here." So me and Scotty are like, "Cool." So we're like, we get our little badge ticket things, our little wristband things, and we step in line. And we go back and we look back and nobody's with us. The Z Boys, Leg, Emiliano, Paul's nowhere.
Well, to be fair, they stopped the wristband line from it and said, "We're moving 50 feet over," because they were right at the top of the stairs. They said, "We're going to move over here."
Okay, so me and Scotty were like the last people. And we were like, "Where's everybody at?" So we go through the line, and honestly, the waiting line for downstairs wasn't as bad as last year, where there was just a big cluster.
No, they definitely had a better situation.
So I mean, it cost like an extra 5 minutes before we got in, then all of a sudden we run to CGC, me and Scott, and all of a sudden we see the rest of the group. We're like, "Where'd you guys go?"
These MFers are like,
well, Sean had got in VIP, Sean had got in press or something.
Yeah, which is cool, but you guys
snuck right in there, like
because the line started turning. We're like, "Well, we're just gonna walk right here."
Yeah, path of least resistance.
That was smart. That was a smart move.
But I don't know because I was the first one to get my books back.
Followed Emiliano.
Yeah.
Yeah, but on the other end, we all got screwed because our books never got done. So
and that's for 3 days later.
Yeah. So basically, we get in the CGC line. And was it that bad, boys? Honestly, I mean, was the line that bad?
No, but so I'm up there with Sean, and
who's like number one as usual every year, and I don't know why he does it because he never gets his books until the last one.
He's like the last one to get his shit back.
I didn't realize it, but the Detroit boys were up there, so I didn't meet them until later.
Nate and Sean. Yeah.
I didn't meet those guys until later that night, so I didn't know who they were, but we're all standing in line, and there's this guy we're 6 people in line, literally, like, Paul's 5th, I'm 6th, Emiliano's 7th, Sean's 3rd or something.
And me and Scott, we're not that far behind. We're like probably 15. Like me and Scott are like in the back kind of.
250 people deep at some point?
Yeah.
And this guy is just complaining and griping, going, "Well, I've moved twice, and I did my forms online, and I did everything I was supposed to in advance, and you moved me around, and this is crap." And he's just yelling at CGC, and I should be done and I should be out of here. You've changed the line. To be fair, they have 3 lines. They have a standard line, a drop-off line, and
it's a little confusing.
But so this guy is raising stink. Mm-hmm. And finally he gets up there and the CGC guy goes, "Where are your forms?" I didn't print them. You mean I'm supposed to print them?
Oh, God.
What the fuck?
And they took care of it. In my head, I'm like, if I'm that guy at CGC, I'm going to hand him 3 pieces of paper and say, "That's your line. Go to it."
Yep.
You did not read shit.
There was people filling out forms on the computer in front of me and Scott, and he's scratching things off, like, "Oh, I don't want this." I'm like, "Dude, you should have thought about this before. This is a Paul's problem."
I got to interrupt. There's a slight Paul's problem.
Okay.
I remember telling him, "Paul, make sure you put your books in order, the form, so that when you give them to them, they could just go down the list because they're in order." And
they're announcing that in line, like, "Hey, can you please make sure your books are in order before?"
Except they kept announcing it because I guess people didn't have their books in order.
So basically, Paul goes, and the night before at Scott's house, Paul goes, "I pay them money. They can sort them."
Imagine Paul only has 6 books, and 5 of them are the same.
Well, I know that. I know that, but I just thought it was funny because me and Scott we're like, "Man, this sucks," and we're like, it's because of people like Paul. The line is like ridiculously slow right now.
No, it was funny how fidgety I was at Scott's house, like up, down, up, down, up, down. But then when it comes to the actual important shit, like our books getting graded, I just said they can fucking sort it.
I'm in the hotel lobby because Sean's handed me books for me. I've got books for Maddie. I got all kinds of books coming back together. Mike's handed me books. I had 20 books from at least 3 different people. Well, 3 people handed to me, but it was from 3 different people that weren't the people that handed to me. I sorted them all, got them in order in my little portfolios, and I'm in line like I'm supposed to be. And Paul refuses to fucking put goddamn
it's
on top.
So
Put the kitty book on top, Paul.
Well, I got my own CGC problems. Like it took Scott literally 10 seconds to do what he needed to do, right?
Yeah, whatever. I don't know her name. Whatever her name is.
Brittany. Is it Brittany?
Dude, she had like in and out, like because I was. I mean, hey, look, I was ready to go. My shit was tight. Yeah. I had my forms. I had my books in order, and she had me in and out.
I have my own problem. So I get to the line, and Sean gets his books done, and he comes back and sees me. He goes, "Hey, I'm done, dude." He goes, "Oh, here are the 2 books that I had that I bought, like that Life of Captain Marvel 3, like on Thursday." And Sean, out of the kindness of his heart, got them pressed and muled them on the plane for me. So me, and I talked about this book like 12 times, didn't put it on my order form, and I'm like, watch, they're gonna let me have to sit there and be like, oh man, here we go. I'm gonna have to go in another line to fill out for 2 forms. And I'm freaking out, man. I'm like, come on, really? I said, I'm gonna try to sweet talk my way out of this one.
He was just like, at one point, he's just like, I'm just not even gonna grade them. I'm not gonna worry about it.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck it. Yeah, I'm not even gonna grade them.
I was like, and then we get up there, and the guy's like, Dino's like, can I add these? He's like, yeah, no problem.
So he added them, right? No big deal. I said, make sure you put the Quesada variant on there. No big deal. Cool. So I get those in. I'm like, kind of cool. Thank God. We all get done, and it's like, okay, it's time to go look around and do some things. So the line for the CGC witnessing was kind of ridiculous, right? I think, Scotty, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm so glad that I waited. I was hungover and waited till like 2 p.m. on Saturday because that was easy breezy.
So I guess let's okay. So we get through the con. I don't think anybody bought anything kind of ridiculous on Friday, if I'm mistaken, right? Nobody did anything too crazy. I mean, the big day on Friday is just getting your books into CGC, and that's a
and then getting across the street and start drinking.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's if you ever go to Baltimore, that's kind of the plan. Like, you do that, you have some good times, and
you walk around long enough to feel like you did something, and then you're like, let's hit the bar.
Yeah.
Yep. Because that CGC line gets you a little fired up.
Yeah. So and then we met Robert Fordham, and the Detroit boys came and saw me, and I mean, I'm trying to talk, and I'm freaking out at the same time in the CGC line. But after all that, it was all good. And then so we go to across the street. We all hang out on Friday. It's a good time. It's a good meetup.
About 25 guys there at one point.
Yeah,
it was really nice to meet everybody. Like put some faces to some names you haven't seen.
Yeah. So that happened. Some people. So Scotty turns to me. He goes, "I'm gonna get hammered tonight," and I'm like, oh, "Okay, hey, that's you, man. That's cool." I said I was getting like a headache. I was getting like that sinus headache. I'm like, I'm just gonna go back to the hotel and hang out and like whatever.
Bagley got me a little.
Yeah. So if you haven't met Jim, Jim's a nice man who encourages other people to drink very heavily.
Yeah.
And then, he also slipped and ate shit on the floor.
That was great. That picture that Sean took of his back.
Shit was like a cartoon, man. His feet came up, his arms swirled in the air.
Literally happened right in front of me, and I lost my mind.
So let's just say some people took advantage of the night and became, they owned the night like they were Batman. So, so that was.
I don't even know what the shots I got handed were.
Oh my God, Woods boys were giving out shots left and right.
All I know is my brother wasn't drinking, but they keep buying him shots, and he's handing them to me.
Oh, you had to do double dose?
Oh, God. I didn't even know what that shot was until the next morning. And
Washington Apple, right?
Yeah, What? I didn't even know what that was.
Yeah. We saw the bartender Sunday morning, and she said we went through 3 bottles of Crown.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. At that point, there were not 25 of us. That was maybe, what?
8?
Yeah.
8 of us, maybe?
Something like that.
10.
Oh, maybe 10.
Maybe.
It's funny because I didn't think I was really drinking that much. So I woke up and we went to breakfast, and I looked at Dino. I'm like, yeah, I'm going back to bed.
So I said,
those shots were not shots. Those were like
they were like half a drink.
Yeah, they were drinks. They were Sean-size shots.
So basically, yeah. So me and Scott go to breakfast, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go to the con and just hang out. No big deal, right? And he goes, I'm really not feeling it. I'm like, okay. He's like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. I said, cool. So Saturday morning, I get there, and I'm just sitting there. I'm looking at walls. I'm just buying. I'm not buying too much stuff. I'm like just hanging out, and I see this wall of just cool like SS books on the wall. And I'm like, I just look. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. So I see this Spawn book, and it's an Addy Granoff Spawn cover, and it's signed by McFarlane, and it's a CGC 98 SS. And I'm like, things that make you go, And this is like 30 minutes into the con on Saturday. And I'm like, He had it for $700. And I'm like, it's cool, but not $700 cool. I said, hey, man, what do you got on your Spawn here? And he's like, for you? He goes, and he recognized me from last year. He goes, you were here last year, weren't you? I'm like, yeah. He goes, I think you bought something from us. I'm like, okay, I don't remember, but okay. Yeah. Sure I did. He goes, yeah, for you? He goes, what are you thinking? I go, I'm not trying to insult you. I said, I was thinking like 600. And he goes, and I'm like, I go, and then he said 600 because I just said, I never throw out the first price. He goes 600. I can do 600. So he knocked $100 off the price already. And being me as savage, this is a continuing theme. I go, what about 575? Because I'm like that. And he goes, I do PayPal friends and family, right? All that good stuff. And he goes, I go, well, let me look what else you got. He goes, okay. So I see this other book, and it's a Venom book. And it's an Addy Granoff Venom book that's signed by McFarlane too, and it's a CGC 98. And I go, I think I might have a buyer for this book. And he goes, really? I go, yeah. He goes, I go, let me talk to him first. I go, let's think about it, and I'll see what he says. I said, I'll pick up the Spawn. He goes, I go, will you keep the 575 if I have to think about it? He goes, yeah, no problem. So I end up just buying the book right there. And Scott's still sleeping. I'm like, I hope to God I can make this happen. So Scott gets up, and he's like, I go, hey man, I want you to come look at this book. And he goes, okay. And then so I get there, and I go, he goes, how much? I said, I got him down to 575. And Scott's like, okay.
I'm like,
I said,
all right,
yeah,
I'll get out of bed.
Yeah. And I told him, I go, yeah, I bought one, and I kind of just said, would you pay that would you honor that price for my buddy? And he goes, yeah. So basically, by the time Scott gets out of bed and down to the show, like 7 people come by, like Wood and all these other people, and they're like, is that your buddy? Is that your buddy? I'm like, no, these are my buddies, but that's not the guy who's going to buy the book. So like 12 people hit me up, and he goes, man, you're pretty popular. I'm like, not really. I just know a lot of people. And
isn't that what popular means?
I guess. I don't know. So I felt kind of bad because he's like pressing me on like, who's this guy coming down?
Yeah, I was not fast. I was moving very slowly.
Yeah. So Scott sees this book. You want to?
I actually saw the book the day before.
Oh, did you? Okay.
And, it caught my eye. That's why when you told me about it, I was like, yeah, that's the one I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been waiting for a Granoff sketch for a long time.
Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah. So I kind of knocked it off the park with that one, I think. I mean, I think we did decent on it. I mean,
Are you one of the people that lost to Granoff a few years ago when books didn't come back like they were supposed to?
I mean, I was supposed to get one.
And it got lost?
It got stolen, and it took me a few months to get my money back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was me.
Better.
Yeah, this is me finally getting it.
Yeah, and B, he got to see what it was already drawn out of it. It wasn't like some mystery, like pay $300 or whatever the price was.
Definitely, it was a poor purchase at all.
No, it was nice. So it was about 2 o'clock at that point, and
yeah.
I decided to do my SS books.
You want to talk about the line first?
What did you get signed, Scotty?
I got some books signed by Jenny Friesen, and then I got another thing signed by Jim Steranko.
Wait, are you the one that made Jenny leave, or I thought it was Jim staring at her for?
Jim was staring at her for too long.
Hey, at least I went and spent money with her. I bought a couple prints off her.
She was very nice to look at.
She didn't charge $1 for autographs either. She was very sweet.
Wait, did you get those Strankos SS'd?
I had a Steranko got SS.
What was it?
The Nick Fury 7.
Did you get any cool stories out of him?
Yes.
Oh my god, dude!
Isn't he the best?
Yeah, Dino
Okay.
bought a print off him.
So okay, we'll go before we go to Steranko. This guy in CGC, like, so what they do?
Oh my god, that dude!
So we go in line, and like, I've never been to the SS thing, but Scotty does it, and hey, it's cool. Like, I was like, hey, and Scotty's worried about, is freezing going to be long? Steranko's line yesterday on Saturday or on Friday was huge, dude. Like, around the booth, huge. And I'm telling the guy from CGC, he's like, well, if you want, you can stand in line for your friend, and then we'll just kind of cut in, and it'll be cool. I'm like, okay, no problem. Like, I said, well, I'll meet you over there, and while you go see Jenny and get your thing signed, because you get like what, 5 or 6 books or 5 books, or whatever.
Like 6 or 7 books.
Yeah, I was like, and I'll go see Steranko, and I'll let you know what it looks like. So I text him like, hey, there's like 13 people in line. It's not that bad. I'm in line, no big deal. So, but before we go on our little hiatus here, we meet this guy, and what they do at CGC is they have like, if like 3 people are going to get Friesen books, they kind of group them together and like, hey, we're all going to go see Friesen right now. So this guy in front of us, he has like what, 30 books maybe?
No, he had a suitcase.
Oh, okay.
It must have been full of books, and then he had about 30 or 40 books in his hand.
Yeah,
and he's looking at the books, and the CGC reps goes and's like, all right, who do you want to get signed? The guy's like, I don't know. He's like, okay, well, why don't you you don't know who he's like, well, I want to go see, I think I want to see that guy and that guy. He's like, okay, well, where are they?
And he's pointing on the map, like this guy and that dude, and he's like, I don't know where you want me to go.
And then finally the guy's like, the CGC rep goes, look, man, why don't you do this? Just wait here. I'm going to go with him real quick. Wait here, circle who you want to see, and we'll come up with a game plan and we'll go get it.
And he's a very nice guy about it, dude.
The CGC guy was great. And this guy's like, no, I want to get this stuff signed now. I don't want to wait. And I'm just like, oh my God, this fucking guy, he is fucking driving me nuts. Cause like, I'm ready to go. My books are in hand. Like,
yeah, Scotty's ready to go.
I'm like itching here. I mean, thank God I was only waiting in the line for 2 seconds. Like, he was literally the person in front of me. But and the CGC rep is like trying to tell the guy, like, look, man, get your shit together, then I'll come back. But he couldn't say that.
Yeah.
So like literally, it was funny. He ended up like, all right, I will go see this guy and this guy. So he came along with me. And it's funny because the 2 people he wanted to sign weren't at their booth, so he couldn't get anything done.
So basically, I'm standing in line, right? And I'm like selling shit for Steranko. Some because there's like some guys like making sure he's okay, and then other people want stuff. I'm like, hey man, this guy wants this, and he's like, oh, this is this. I'm making sales. Like, this guy wants a T-shirt. This girl wants this. So I'm like hooking Steranko up like pretty big in line. I'm like selling for him in line. I'm like, should I get a commission off this? So I see Scotty. We come over, and Scotty's like, hey man. I'm like, yeah, and no big deal. He gets in line with me, and I'm just kind of like just hanging out, right? I'm not doing much. I'm just hanging out in line. So I'm looking at his stuff, and we're just talking about Steranko, and the CGC's guys telling us about stories and then like what's going on in the room of CGC, which was awesome. The grading, but so I see this print, right, and I'm like, man, this looks pretty cool. This would be cool to have, and it's a print of Steranko's. I don't even know what cover. Was it even a cover, dude?
No, it was just it was an original. I mean, it was an art piece that he did.
Yeah, it wasn't original art. It was a print.
It was dope. It looked like Sin City style, like black and white.
Yeah, it was black and white. It had like a detective, and he was opening a door, and like there was a girl who was murdered on the floor, and all this stuff. I'm like, that's dope, man. And me and Scotty was like, man, if you get that, sign it, and you can sign it in red, like Sin City vibe, like have it black on white with like a red Steranko signature. It would look dope. Like, and me and Scotty were like, yeah, that'd be dope. So I pick it up, right? It's $20, right? And I was like, and Jim, and somebody was like, maybe he'll sign it for free because you bought it. I'm like, yeah, okay. So I get up there, and he's like $20 and $20 for him to sign it. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I bought it. I mean, no big deal. And I go, hey, Jim. He goes, hey, man. He goes, I go, I'm looking to get this. He goes, ooh, that's a hot one, man. It's like, what, 1 left? I'm like, yeah, there's only 1 left. So he goes, so what do you think? I said, I'm thinking like red Sharpie. and he looks at me like I killed his dog,
Yeah.
and he goes,
we do not sign. This is a museum quality piece.
Yeah.
We do not sign it with ink.
He
we
goes,
use a pencil.
He did the same thing to me.
And I was like, that's cool. Like,
all right, we're like, cool, dude, do it.
So, and then he's like giving me trivia questions. Like, he's like, do you know, can you tell me what this has? This has 3 parts. And it's one of those Paul questions. Like, it's simple, but it's like very not simple. So I'm like, I don't know. It has like death. And he's like, and then Scott goes, it has the beginning, a middle, and the end. And he's like, bingo.
I was like, okay.
He goes, it took me so long how to make one picture and to have a beginning, a middle, and an end in one photo. Like, but it was a good story. And
it's an awesome picture, though.
And he was a really nice guy. I'll shoot it out to everybody, too.
And he wears this turtleneck up to like all the way up to his chin. And he's wearing like a leisure suit.
So what Jimmy told us, which was awesome, that he wears the same thing kind of, but it's cool. He looks like a Las Vegas lounge singer. We were talking, and then Jimmy, we meet Jimmy that night.
Like he's ready, man.
Yeah, so we meet Jimmy that night, and Jimmy goes, "You know, he was like a magician, right?" And we're like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, he wrote like I guess." Jimmy knows all this obscure shit. He goes,
he drew like manuals for magicians and stuff. And, like actually drew the whole thing.
Yeah. So he gave us that, and we're like, that makes sense. So
yeah, the next time you see him, ask him to tell you the Bob Kane story that I told you about. Did I tell you guys? Told you guys about that, right?
I almost. Side note was other Brian. I saw your favorite artist and almost went to go beat him up and say, get Brian his fucking sketch.
Right? Oh God. There was somebody that put something on Google Plus about him, and they were so stoked that he was going to be there, and I just held my tongue. I didn't want to ruin their.
Well, that's all right. My brother said he did a con in Fort Wayne a few weeks back. I'm like, Fort Wayne is like the 10th largest city in Indiana, so shit's not good for him.
Good.
So I let him go.
Karma. It's karma, man. That guy's got so much bad karma. If you search his name and issues or something like that on Google, you'll see so many actual other creators talking shit about him, how he commandeers their tables and won't give it back and act like he bought it, but he didn't buy it, and puts all his shit on your table and like just crazy stuff. So
who is this?
Arthur Sidem.
Yeah, he looked like a D-bag.
Yeah, it's sad because his art's so good.
Yeah.
His painted art's so good. His freaking sketches are beyond ungodly terrible.
Yeah. So we do that. He's a nice guy. Scotty gets his thing signed. CGC does it solid for him. So we get there.
That was actually pretty easy. It might have been 45 minutes to get two things done and then get my books in.
Yeah, it was really I was surprised. That was probably the smoothest thing I've ever seen all weekend.
Yeah, it worked out being hungover.
Yeah. So we get that, no big deal. And then what
did you guys do on Saturday?
Yeah, because we were just all out, just hanging out, me and Scotty.
I think we went to Carl's on Saturday, right?
Oh, yeah.
How'd that go?
It's great. Good time.
So you want to talk about how you went to Carl's or why you went to Carl's? Because I don't think Carl was at Baltimore Comic-Con.
Yeah, there was issues with Carl getting a booth at the actual con. The details escape me, but there was something going on. But so we kind of got a private tour to Carl's house. So Friday, it didn't work out. It was close in the evening, and we wanted to all get together and blah, blah, blah. So we're like, all right, sorry, buddy, let's just do it Saturday. So we went to Carl's on Saturday, and it was, man, who was there? It was me, Jimmy, Joe, and then Mike.
Ozzy.
Yeah. And I think we did well. That's where I got.
Carl's always got good stuff.
Yeah, I got a good chunk of my pickups there and good price. And he picked us up. He dropped us off. So
It was funny. He tried to entice Sean with beer. Come in my van, little boy. I got beer.
But it was good. No, Carl's great guy.
Yeah, Carl. I actually got to see him. He was walking around the con.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
I'm actually gonna see him next weekend or this weekend. I think it's this weekend.
Yeah, I think we left a couple books behind for you.
Yeah, he always restocks.
Yeah. So that was cool. What about you, John? Do you do anything? You around? Yeah. Did you? What did you do on Saturday? Because you didn't go with Carl, did you?
No, I did not. God, what? I believe I slept a little late. I don't think I got up and functioning till about 1 o'clock.
Okay.
I kind of walked out. Oh wait, those are the fire alarm day, right?
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, fire alarm was Sunday.
No, fire alarm was Sunday.
Saturday.
No, because I had my books.
Yeah.
No, you did not. It was Saturday.
No, I lugged them down 6
Dito lugged the books all the way down the steps.
It was Sunday.
Are you positive?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I remember it vividly.
See, you were very drunk both nights.
That is fact. I will not argue that fact. Either way, Ozzy left for the thing to go see Carl, and I said, you know what, hell with this, I'm just going back to bed.
Yeah, good call.
And I think about 1 o'clock, I got hungry, I got up, went to the con. I didn't really go too crazy with any books. I never saw anything I really, really wanted. I hit some off the side way, smallest dealer at the con. I got a few deals on some $2 books that I'll flip later, and but like nothing crazy. I wandered around a while. Hope CGC got done. Of course, that was a pipe dream on Saturday.
For some of you,
I think at some point I ran into Sean and he said, "I think it's time to drink," and I think I agreed. And
that was probably the worst decision of the con that you made.
Next thing you know, it's basically Sunday.
So what'd you do?
Well, Saturday I was pretty much licking wounds from drinking the night before, but went to the con. Got up, went to breakfast. They had, but when we checked in the hotel, we thought it was just some guy in his pajamas, but turned out it was the chef, and he was telling us secrets, and just telling us what's going to be on the menu.
Nice.
And he's talking about Cajun grits. So I ate Cajun grits Saturday morning, hungover.
Good.
How was it?
They were awesome. I ate like 2 bowls of it, and then got orange juice that was basically orange water. But
some tang.
yeah, if that. I mean, it was like water with food coloring out of the little machine there. But we made our way over to the con, and I didn't buy much that day. I did buy 2 copies of The Rejected, and I talked to what's his name, Stan Konopka, if I'm saying that right, the writer for the Rejected from Source Point Press. So I talked to him for like 30 minutes.
We got to set that up too.
Yeah, and he said he'd love to come on the podcast, so I told him I'd get in touch with him. I know he said he was busy because he said he couldn't get his phone to work the whole con there.
Oh, the signal down there is terrible.
Yeah, and then
I saw one dealer like literally standing on a chair holding the credit card machine up in the air as high as he could. Yeah. Probably like desperate to make this sale, but can't get the
It's in the freaking basement.
Yeah. They really should have like probably a
Wi-Fi code.
Yeah.
But they want to charge you because that's a union.
Oh yeah, dude, that's a huge set. It's like $100 fee or $150.
Anytime they want to charge you like $500 for it.
I bet you they got cell phone jammers in there.
Oh, here we go.
Don't doubt me.
There's no winning. I mean, like you just turn your phone to.
I didn't have that problem.
Battery. No hunt for Wi-Fi. None of that's there. Just conserve energy mode.
No, I didn't have that problem.
I didn't have an issue.
Oh, we didn't talk about what. Oh, we missed the electrical part of Scott's house of Paul's and it's fucking. So Paul. So we're kind of backtracking here. So Scott. So we're at Scotty's house. Paul, myself, and Scotty. He uses his laundry. He like takes 2 showers. Then he goes, "Hey, you mind if I plug some stuff in?" And like we're like, "Cool, it must be your phone or whatever." He literally has his own like 4-way strip
He's got his own friggin' surge protector with him.
Yeah. So basically,
And I'm not joking.
He has one outlet. He plugs in literally 2 phones, 2 battery packs. What else did you have, Paul?
He had like a bag full of shit that was not even he wasn't even using. Like I don't know. Like I don't know.
Like miscellaneous cables.
And like what are they? What's that? A gallon size bag? Like the big Ziploc bags, like the real big ones.
It was freezer ready in case he was in the Arctic.
This thing is filled with wires and electronics. And I'm like, what is all that stuff? He's like, oh, it's my stuff.
So,
like, all right.
He literally plugs in like 25 things into one outlet. I'm like, man, that's not electrically safe.
Yeah, I got a picture of it. I'll post it. It's pretty funny.
I'm just glad I didn't burn your house down.
Yeah, it's all right. I got homeowners.
Yeah. So, well, I don't know if Paul might be the thing that's not covered on it.
Yeah.
So Sunday
a special writer for that shit,
especially if they listen to the show.
Should I talk about Saturday, Paul? Is that PG? Did you, or should I not?
Good night,
dude. No, man. Everything's fair game for me.
Okay. I'm just gonna go with. Remember, I said I don't know. No, you go a little longer. We're not ready for my revelation at the end of the night.
Okay. So
I can't wait for this.
So we all go out. We all get cleaned up. I think Paul takes another shower. So this is like shower number 12.
Paul's like a 2 shower a day minimum guy.
Yeah. So anyways, no big deal.
And Saturday's gathering up takes a lot more time than Friday. Like
Friday,
we all know where to go. Saturday, like it's a 2-hour kind of like commitment for everybody to find each other.
Yeah, we're all like, where are you at? What are you doing? So Jim Begley says, hey, I'm at this bar. And we're like, cool. So we all go and we all meet up, and there are what, 15 of us, maybe, I guess. I don't know.
And this bar is big enough for like 12 of us.
Yeah. So we own like half the bar, and it's cool, and we're hanging out, we're having a good time. All of a sudden, Paul starts chatting up this lady. You want to tell the story, Paul? Because you were over there.
Girl instead of a lady, but yeah.
Yeah, man, forget it. I was bored with you fuckers.
Okay.
Paul, I'll tell you what, Paul is smooth with the ladies.
Yes. So, Paul, how does this all go down, man? Because I kind of was from afar.
No, so we were watching some different women trickle in, and we're just making jokes, yeah, we should go, break the ice with that table and blah, blah, blah. But so this one girl comes in totally alone and goes up to the bar, and I was like, all right, not the friend effect and all that, some thinner ice to break through, I guess, if you will. And so then she goes outside to smoke, and I'm like, I'm a smoker tonight. So I go outside, and I'm like, hey, can I bum a cigarette? And I just started talking to her and blah, blah, blah.
Paul's a predator.
I don't know where to go with that. But anyway, so yeah, she's outside, I bum a cigarette, just saying hi. I was like, friendly conversation. And then I go back inside, and we're at the bar, and she goes, man, what'd you say? Something like, oh, because I was telling her, why we're here. I'm from out of town. She goes, oh, well, I don't want you to ditch your friends, or something that was kind of like, not leave me alone, but like, I don't want you to ditch. I don't know, but I was like, all right, I'll talk to you later. See ya. Well, I kind of.
Oh no, I came out because I didn't know where you went. And Jimmy goes, oh, he's talking to that girl. I'm like, okay, let me go see if you're okay, because we're in Baltimore right now. I'm from the hood, right? So basically, I'm thinking this girl's like gonna like drag him outside, and 2 guys are gonna be sitting out in the alley, and he's gonna get mugged, because that's how I think.
That's the first thing I thought, that she was like a setup.
Yeah. So I go out, Paul. I'm like, Paul, you okay? He's like, yeah, we're fine. We're just talking, and he gives me the look, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna head back inside. So continue with your story.
Oh, so we're just chatting. So anyway, we go back inside, and I'm like, yeah, let me know if you go outside to smoke again. And then I go back to talk to Dino, and someone else goes up and talks to her, and blah, blah, blah. And then, so later she goes out to smoke again, and invites me out with her. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll go smoke again. And then she's like, yeah, I'm from out of town, just moved here, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to this other Irish pub around the corner. Do you want to go? And I was like, yeah, we've been here for a while.
It was not right around the corner.
Well, no, let him go. Let him go.
Oh, so I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go. Whatever, let's have a good time.
So basically, he goes, "Hey man, I'm leaving. We're all gonna leave and go to this Irish pub." And I'm like, "Okay, dude. I just ordered another drink, but I'm like, okay, no problem."
Glass was full.
Yeah, it was full. And I go, okay, you gonna be okay? Yeah, I'll be okay. It's just like across the street. I'm like, okay, bro, no problem. And he mumbles off some shit that I couldn't understand. He goes, "We're at this Irish pub called blah 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 blah." And I'm like, okay.
At this point, I see Dino not go with Paul, and I'm looking around the room. Going, oh my god, this is bad.
Z was trying to see who was still.
I say to TJ, follow him. He goes outside for a second, goes, I don't know where he went, and comes back. I'm like,
literally, Paul did like
so
a
all of us are
Houdini.
looking like Paul is in the wind.
Yeah, Paul did like David Copperfield and like vanished himself with his chick, and I'm like, oh god. So I tell the bartender like, "Hey man, I gotta go and save my boy." I go, "Hey man, what Irish pubs are around here?" And he's like, "It's this one and this one." He goes, "There's one like down the street here." I go up there. I'm like, I don't know. I saw him walk that way, and I come back into the bar. I'm like, I don't know, man. I start calling Paul, and he doesn't pick up. I'm like, oh man, this isn't good. This isn't good. So he calls me back. He's like, "Yeah, we're at the Shallow, whatever the hell it was." And the bartender goes, "Oh yeah, I know where that's at. It's like 3 blocks away." I'm like, "Oh really?" He's like, "Yeah." So I go, "Okay."
This is key information that me, Sean, and TJ missed.
Yes.
Because we kind of got off cycle. We had ordered another beer, and the rest of you guys went with Paul, and we're like, "We'll meet you in a minute." Because it's around the corner.
Yeah. So I go, "Hey, Scotty, I got to leave." And he was cool with it. I said, "Let me go. I got to go find Paul." So me, Scotty, and Paul, and Bruce Leroy, we start rolling out to this random bar to search for Paul. And I'm like, I hope this is okay. So I'm on Google Maps. We're like literally walking through Baltimore. And it wasn't a bad area. I mean, it was like a college bound. Yeah, it was college bound.
We just didn't know where we were going.
Yeah. So we're walking around. We get to the bar, which was cool. And he's there sitting in there with this chick. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a good thing. And she's like, "Hey guys." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Super fun lady, man.
Yeah. And I'm like, I never talked to this lady. And I'm like, she's like, "How are you guys doing?" I'm like, "Good." Blah, 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 blah. And then Paul blurts out, "Are we still going to midget wrestling?" Because we were going to go to midget wrestling. This girl went from 0 to 100 real quick about midget wrestling, and she was all about it. So me and Scott excused ourselves.
Yeah, we did not go to midget wrestling.
Yeah, with Dr. Joe, because Dr. Joe was with us.
Guys missed out.
And he goes, and we're like, we're going to head back to the hotel room. And I thought this was going to be like last year all over again with Paul packing at like 3 a.m. So I was like, I was waiting for it.
Although I'm pretty sure that Paul came in quite after 4 a.m.
Yes, he did.
Meanwhile, Sean, I, and TJ are at this bar, and we finish our drink. We go, let's go find them.
Oh goodness! So what happened? Okay, so we're gonna leave the store.
The next block, and there's no Irish pub. Conveniently, there is a bar, and we go, well, let's just stop inside for a minute.
Oh God!
Nice.
So yeah, let's go with your.
We realize, maybe we'll go find Paul.
Yeah, so let's go with your story. So where'd you? Okay, you ended up at some rando bar.
They served beer. We needed to pee, I think.
Okay, that's cool. I understand.
And then we kind of got sidetracked because they had good beer. And at some point, somebody must have texted us and go, "Hey guys, are you coming to see wrestling?" Which probably was over at this point.
Yeah.
We hop in a cab or an Uber after. Truthfully, it could be between 1 and 4 hours.
Okay.
Some sort of time frame.
Mini beers.
Yeah.
And we show up at a gentleman's club, which is where this wrestling occurred.
Yep.
And the guy's like, guys, this place closes in like 25 minutes. We're like, all right, we're here. Whatever.
Did they charge you full cover?
I cannot answer that question. I cannot confirm or deny. I see Paul, I see Leroy, and I feel there's a few other gentlemen there. I'm not really sure.
TJ and Sleepy John were there, I think.
You guys.
Well, TJ was with me.
Oh, okay.
And
I was trying to bail when you guys showed up, and I was like, "All right, never mind, reset."
I do have a picture on my phone of Paul, which I do recall taking a selfie while we're sitting by the stage, and the bouncer comes and goes, "I know you didn't just take a picture of the girl, but no more pictures." I'm like, "Oh, I just did Paul."
Oh God, you're getting kicked out of the strip club.
Yeah, I think I'm in trouble. And next thing I know, TJ, Sean, and maybe some other guys are talking to one of the wrestlers. So we proceed to have a drink and talk to the wrestler who lives his life on the road, at various establishments, entertaining folks with his wrestling ability.
Would you say he's the Ric Flair of the midget wrestling world?
I did not witness him, so I do not know. But all I know is at some point in the conversation, him and I broed out about Supernatural.
No.
So as I am at this event Sunday night with my wife and some friends, my drunken level gets high enough for me to recollect going, I bonded with a midget wrestler in a strip club talking about Supernatural. And my wife looks at me going, well, all right.
Thank God your wife is so cool. I gotta say, my girlfriend was not happy that I skipped that part of the adventure, and she said I should have went.
That's funny.
So
it was, man. It was these two shorter gentlemen versus the third gentleman named Too Tall, and so it was a good time. We arrived just in time for the main event.
Was it Hell in a Cell-esque? What was it? What was the ring like?
Just a square.
Oh, just a square. The old square circle. Okay.
Yeah. It was a good time. It was a good time.
We got back to the hotel, and I recall asking the hotel if they will sell us more booze, and they said no. But apparently, a few gentlemen were wily enough to work some booze out of them, because I am told there were some guys up later.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I guess I can tell the story because Sean was there. Sean and the Detroit boys, so Sean and they were hanging out, and they said, "Hey, we're just gonna grab a beer." And all of a sudden, Sean and Mel walked down, and they promptly started drinking again. And I think they lasted till 4 a.m. I think, and literally got up like 3 hours.
It couldn't have been Mel. Mel was gone.
Oh, was it? I don't. Was it? No.
It was the last people in the lobby that I remember were Bruce Leroy, myself, and Sleepy John, and I bailed on those two guys.
Maybe it was those two guys then.
So I came up to the room again at like 3:30ish. But the only thing that saved you two bastards is that I had the whole other half of the suite to myself. Otherwise,
yeah, definitely helped.
Yeah, I barely got out of that hotel at checkout. At
I still hurt his ass, even though he had the other thing. All I hear is the toilet fucking lid slam, like an earthquake hit it. And it wasn't that bad, but I mean, so
the reverse Paul's problem that happened was Friday night, before all this madness happened, I discovered that the couch folded out, and I was like, this is a miracle, because usually what would happen is I would, break my back on the couch all weekend, and then Sunday when we're about to leave, I discover the couch pulls out.
That's the only thing that pulls out. Oh,
hey, two kids.
The funny thing is, I told Paul that it was a sofa bed.
I don't remember that happening. I don't. It must have subconsciously implanted, because I discovered it on my own and thought it was my own discovery.
I'm sure. I mean, it was your own discovery, because you just didn't hear me.
That's right. But no, that the Brookshire Suites are the place to be.
Yeah, I wouldn't have made you sleep on a couch.
No,
I would have. I would have, because of
my
horrible time at the at Scott's house, and not because it's Scott's fault, but
that's all right. Ozzy didn't know it was a pullout, and I didn't remember, so he slept on the couch.
Okay, so Saturday happened. Some people are rough. We're going into Sunday, boys.
Sunday was pretty much anger and frustration with CGC,
except for me.
Yeah, because
bitch ass got your books graded, which I don't understand.
So Sunday morning, it's like Sunday morning it's 7:30, and me and Scott, we're in like the two king or double beds or whatever there are, and all I hear at 7:30 is like we have a fire in the building. The
Their
hotel
fire alarm was so weird.
The hotel is on fire, and I'm like, is this Paul messing with us? Like it's a joke? Like he's like, oh, this is gonna be funny. Watch this. I'm gonna do a prank at 7:30 and just I tell Scott, I go, what's that, Scotty? He goes, I don't know. So I go, okay, let's
Baltimore was pretty alarm prone. I mean, that first year we were there, the convention center had the alarm.
Yeah. So I get up and I'm like, we kind of like, okay, we might as well go downstairs and see what's going on. Scott goes, hey, can you grab the books? And so Scott's books came back from CDC already graded. So he's got like a small box of like 19 books maybe, or whatever the number was. I go, don't worry, bro. I got it. No big deal. It's 7:30 in the morning. I said, before me and Scott go down, I wake Paul up and go, hey, bud. He's like, yeah. I go, the hotel might be on fire. And to my chagrin, I guess, all I hear is Paul go, I think it's fake. I don't think it's real. I'm just going to stay here. I go, okay, bud. I just laughed. I'm like, I'm okay. Like that's, and then Scott goes, that's going to be a Paul's problem. That's going to be his last words. I didn't think the fire was real. So I literally grab these books, and they're probably what, I don't know, 50 pounds, Scott. I don't know. No, I don't
Probably
know.
15.
15. I don't know. I just lift these box of books 6 flights of stairs down. I get down there, no fire truck. I look up at the building, really no fire. I'm like, what's going on here?
Dude burnt bacon.
Some dude burnt some bacon and caused a bunch of smoke.
Told you guys it's fake.
Yeah.
I laid in bed and I was like, I called down to the front desk and I'd just fallen asleep, and this woman in her beautiful foreign accent, yet slightly frustrated. No, it was Javier's fault. He burned some bacon, blah, blah, blah. Because I said, is the fire real? And no, the fire's not real, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, good night. Told you guys. Sean in the shitter again.
Sorry, Dino wanted to get some exercise.
Yeah, so I worked out at 7:30. I lugged them back up 6 flights of stairs.
You did volunteer to do it.
I did. No, I did. I was like, I'll do it. I didn't want, I was like, I'll do it, man. No big deal. Like I've been working out for this. So
because I was like, I'm not leaving the books. If this fucking building's burning down, these books aren't going with it.
Which I understand.
But Paul, he can stay behind.
Yeah.
I mean, look, man. At that point, like
nobody can carry you, Paul.
We're all adults here. We're all adults here. You made your decision.
Listen, when the alarm went off, I was in the shitter, and I thought,
this is how you're gonna die.
No, I thought, well, I'm gonna finish this before I worry about it.
Which is probably a smart move.
I mean, honestly, if you're shit, you gotta finish it.
Yeah, and by the time I get up, I'm like, I don't know. I don't think this is real. I look out the window. I see you guys out there, but you don't look panicked, and I'm like, I think we're safe. I'm going back to bed.
Yeah.
I don't even think Sean.
Literally, I saw you out the window, and you guys weren't looking like, "Oh God, it's the problem."
So basically, 90% of the people just stayed in bed, which we should have, but you couldn't take that chance. So, anyways, so we get up, and then basically I go, "I'm up," so we're not going back to bed. So me and Scott go, "Well, what's there to do? Time to grab some breakfast." So we wake up Paul, and we go, "Hey, bud, we're going to go to breakfast. You want to come?" He's like, "Yeah, sure." And then I can see the thoughts going through Paul's mind. He goes, "You think I have time to take a shower?" And I go, no, dude. You can take a shower when we come back. And he's like, okay. And I was kind of had a heart attack there. I was like, he's not going to take a shower. I'm kind of surprised. But so he did it. And so he gets out. And then all of a sudden we order food, and we're right across the street from the hotel. And he goes, hey, Jimmy's texted me and said he needs something. I'm going to go back to the hotel. I'm like, okay. He goes, so which way do I go? And Scott goes, it's down the alley, which is like maybe 50 feet. And you make a left, and it's right there. Paul goes, okay. So he orders his food. Our food comes. Me and Scott literally eat our food. It's been 30 minutes, and Paul's not back. we're like, is he not going to eat his food? Did he just order his food and walk away? 45 minutes goes by. He finally comes back. He goes, I got lost. Literally, he goes, I went down the alley, and what happened, Paul?
I took a right, and I should have taken a left.
Yeah. Where'd you go, Paul?
I went all over. But for Jimmy's sake, I stumbled upon the convenience store and retrieved for him the medical supplies he needed. And then the funny thing is, on my way back, I walked by some other hotel and some employees were coming out. I was like, hey, gentlemen, sorry to bother you. Can you tell me where the Brookshire is? And they both looked at each other. I was talking about Brookshire, California or something. Like, we have no idea. So I just kept walking in circles. And then I looked at my phone and I didn't see anything from Dino or Scott. Like, hey, man, the food's here. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm good. My food's not there yet. They were running slow because the other restaurant was booked. So they were running behind anyway. And I finally, I take care of Jimmy, finally get back to the bar, and these guys are halfway through their meal. They're like, yeah, I came out 5 minutes ago. I'm like, oh, enjoy my cold breakfast. But it all worked out. It was a good time. It's another story for the notebook.
So that was that's what happened on Sunday for us. Then Paul goes, I'm going to take a shower. Well, me and Scott we're going to go back to the con. And so basically all of Sunday is just called Refresh Sunday because all we do is go on CGC and refresh our phones for when.
Wait for them to show ship.
We were the first group of people to drop it off. Poor Emiliano spent his entire day in the CGC line, I think. He was the first person in line, and he left after I did, which was 4:25.
So he basically spent the whole day in line and not even going to check out the con.
Like the books, they did them truly the last person to go because there were some fuckers that would walk up and go, "Oh, I turned it in Saturday afternoon. My books are done." Sure. Fuck you! I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, they did the ones that came in first.
Yeah.
Last, and the ones that came in last first.
So the Detroit boys are sitting there, Sean and Nate, and I apologize, I cannot remember the third dude's name. A little hungover still, probably.
Brian.
And Emiliano's up there, and me and Ozzy are there, and I'm sitting there going, so what's the latest we can wait for this stuff on our flight? I mean, this is about 3 o'clock. And we're like, well, let's just go sit upstairs because the con, we're not going to spend any more money. We're done. And we're just waiting for books. I mean, it was an hour and a half, and all of a sudden.
How was the organization of getting the books? Like that once you got them confirmed, how was that?
Mediocre. It wasn't terrible. It was just like some people are douches and just not cooperative with the employees. Same as drop off.
Yep.
Like I'm standing there with Nate, who I'd actually picked up my first couple rounds of books, and he was hanging out with me, and my famous Mel Vaughn ASM 1 ugly ass shit one got a purple label, which I did not notice until I opened it up, and he's sitting there going to watch me, and I look at it purple and go, the fucking tape.
Not
mad at the CGC girl, but just
the tape. It was extensive.
Just frustrated enough to go, that's not it. And it finally I'm reading it and it goes trimming, and but like my brain is just processing going, there's no way this is purple. It's barely hanging together. We discussed I could tear off the edges and it would be a blue label at that point. But the Detroit boys were cool. We then, waited for my other batch of books because I had 4 orders and my moderns came back, and between me and Matt DeVoe, we did not get a 9.6 or 9.8 out of 5, I don't think. Ozzy got a couple on his modern. Ozzy did well. He got 3 out of 4 9.8s. I got a restored, which I expected, and I had a Hulk 181 that got no grade bump after Sean pressed the shit out of it. So I had a pretty shitty early part of Sunday. And, about 4:15, my books go from quality control to graded. They had been sitting for hours and hours. I'm like, well, I'm going to go pick them up. I don't want to look at them. I'm like, I'm going to share my pain with these guys who've been sitting with me for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in line. Nate's coming with me because he's like, shit, after the last reaction, I kind of want to see this. And there's people in line, and some poor fucker gets 5 books back. 4 of them are purple. And then this other guy is getting his 8 SS books back, but he's on the phone with somebody who already knows the grades. They've seen him online, and he's going, yeah, I remember that one. We got, oh, you already know about it. We got a 9.8 on that anus book, and anus being Enos, but I mean, he's doing play-by-play. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Take your books and move. There's 12 people in line waiting to get their books. I don't say that, but I'm ready to scream it because this is, you're standing there while dipshits can take their books and move, and they're just
flipping
just
out,
making you crazy.
Yeah.
I get my books. I actually had a pretty good Sunday finish. I knew some of them were good, some weren't. Highlights, my Ghost Rider MS5, which Sean and I had talked about. It had a pretty wide range of expectation, anywhere from about a 7 to an 8.5. It got the 8.5, so that was a win. My 2 Madhouses both got 6.5, which is surprising on one of them, so we'll take it. My double clown cover got an 8,
which is cool.
Yeah, and there were a few others. I mean, there were some other.
Wait, what'd you say he got? The double clown cover got a 9.8?
No, it got an 8.
Oh, okay.
Which is nice. I mean, it's for a Zeta book. I got a fight with CGC because they labeled it wrong.
I couldn't believe that when I saw the pic. That it was I didn't know that was a Frazetta book. That's pretty damn cool.
It's not his cover. He's got interiors on it.
So I got my books probably one of the last ones because I didn't even see my books because Scotty.
I got all your books last.
Yeah, so I felt bad about it. I really did. My stuff wasn't even to like grading until Sunday. Like it was like verified and not at grading or scheduled for grading, and one of the last ones got graded.
It wasn't verified till Sunday morning too.
Yeah, which was kind of scary. But so. I got my books back. I took a Hawk 181 with me. I got a 3.5. The chocolate ice cream cover got a 3.5. So I mean that was expected. So that was kind of decent. I mean it could have hit me harder, I guess. I got an Incredible Hulk 180. That got a 5.0.
No, 7.0
or 7.0. That was a plus. I didn't think it was that high. The 182 got a 6.5. One of them did. The other was a 2.5, which I shouldn't have graded, but I was just like, I'll just grade it, whatever.
No, you're not graded 2.5.
Huh?
You're not graded 2.5.
Yeah,
somebody will buy it.
Yeah, somebody will buy it, hopefully. My dirty pair that I got from Dr. Joe, it was a 9.0. I kind of just threw it in there. It got a 9.6 somehow. I don't know how.
Sean pressed it.
Well, Sean pressed it, but I mean, he was like, yeah. So the books I forgot about, let's talk about that. So there were Life of Captain Marvel's, the number 3, the Casada, the black cover, like the versions.
And one of them was Captain Marvel number 3.
Yeah, one was Captain Marvel number 3, so they mislabeled it, which I'm glad they only mislabeled one, so I could put one up on the Yellow Bay.
Hilarious. The same book, and they mislabeled it. I don't understand. Same order, like back to back in the order too. Like
So those came back 9.8. So if somebody wants to buy one, I'm gonna show myself out right now. If somebody wants to buy one, hit me up.
Dito's doing a Patreon next week.
Yeah, Patreon. Yeah, depends. What else did I pick up? Oh, I got an Edge of Spider-Verse that came back 9.8. The regular cover, not the land. Edge of Spider-Verse 2.
I don't talk about that book here anymore.
Okay. I got a Batgirl Middleton 23 that came back 9.8. A lot of people had that book too.
Yeah, that was the popular 9.8 for everyone.
What else did I pick up? Was that it, Scotty? I can't remember. I don't even know what I had. Saga 1 came back 9.8. The down was the Avengers 196 newsstand only came back at 9.2, which, I mean, the hunt's still on, I guess. I mean, I lost money on that book, so
Yeah.
kind of
Also,
crappy.
there was a CBSI member that got a 9.8 Masters of the Universe.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
That group of guys did really well. I don't want to throw out what they had, but they had some monsters. Let's just put it that way.
So
Who won the bin digging championship? Who got a good book out of the bins?
Ozzy.
That book wasn't from Baltimore, the one you're talking about.
Yeah, it was.
The Free Sun wasn't.
The Voltron?
No, that was the week before.
Oh, he said he got it there.
Oh, no, he didn't. He just said he got it.
I would Scott, would you say?
I think Ozzy did pretty well in the bins. He went that first day and rated Third Eye for a shit ton of $30, $40 books.
Yeah.
I love that shit. It's like so cathartic going through books, and that you actually know you're gonna go through some major heat.
I think feeling. I think we did well as a group. Me, Scotty, and Sean. I don't.
Yeah,
should we talk about?
Dude, Sean killed my books.
Yeah.
I got 15 out of 17 moderns, 9.8, and 2 of them weren't even supposed to be close. The other 2 that didn't come in 9.8 were 9.6s, and I don't think they were 9.6s.
No, that's one of my favorite book in 9.8.
Yep, Teen Titans 75. First thing I said to Z, I was like, "There's another one in the census."
I still don't think there's a lot more out there. That book.
No.
Well, you got a pretty rare book too.
Oh yeah, my Grail book. Yeah, the Force Awakens sketch variant.
Oh my god.
Oh, got it for me, pressed it, and made it a 9.8. That thing is glorious.
And for people who don't know, you have the other book too. You have the colored version.
I have the color version.
I think you're the only one with 2 9.8s, I believe.
Probably with the pair, yeah. It's possible somebody else has one.
I think Jimmy's books that he got signed from the adult table was probably pretty good.
Yeah.
I think we I don't know. We bought some big books at Baltimore, but
nothing big.
Yeah, I mean not like crazy big, not like AS1s or crazy things like that, but
did anybody get any artist exclusives, like any of the Greg Horn, J. Joe ones, or no?
We didn't buy any of that.
Nah, stay away from that. Stay
away. One was
from
there.
Junk,
I saw him.
Yeah, I don't know. I just Artist Alley. I went up and did some feel good. I bought some random just artist books for people that were pushing they were doing the Dino factor. They were selling their wares and being aggressive. And I'm like, you know what? I'll spend $15, $20, buy some books. Nothing crazy, but I just don't love, like, they were just books, but I don't love chasing the artist exclusive. It's just not what I want to do. Artist Alley always just makes me a little, it's claustrophobic there. I don't know why. I think the aisles get narrower.
There's some weird people in there.
Yeah, and they get mixed in with the junk dealers and random stuff. I don't
know. The foam swords. Yeah,
it gets. You could tell the atmosphere changes when you get closer to the pop area and the foam sword area. Yeah. It's like definitely a weirder personnel there.
Like I said, I went on Saturday and did some Comic Karma, and I dropped, I don't know, I think $50, $60 on just independent books that people were doing. It was kind of nice. One guy bought a copy of everything because I liked the art, and he threw in a free sketch. He's like, "Here, take this." I'm like, "All right, that's cool, man. Thank you." So it's sometimes nice to the people that are trying throw something back, because those poor bastards are sitting there all day for somebody to look at their stuff.
What else happened?
We all made it out alive, which goddamn is a miracle sometimes.
I mean, that was pretty much about it. What else happened? Oh, Paul. Is Paul around still? Did we lose him?
I'm here, man. What's up?
You forgot the airport endpoint.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You mean going out? You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about. So we leave.
We're all receiving, because me and Ozzy got there to the airport first. We took the first Uber. We saw Sean. Sean's texting us, "Yo, Z boys, I'm at a bar. Come find me.
Of course he is.
And I'm like, we got 45 minutes to our flight. It's a 10-minute walk. We can sit here and do nothing or go have one more beer with Sean. I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's go. But at this point, we receive a text from Paul going, I'll let you finish it, Dino, because you had to leave it live.
Oh, okay. Well, Paul's like, hey, I'm gonna go again. He didn't check out on Sunday, and so Paul's walking around. We got the late checkout at 3:00 because we didn't have books or anything. So it's like 2:00. Paul's stuff is still all over like the common area of the hotel room,
like everywhere.
Everywhere.
And he texts me, goes, what are you guys thinking about for lunch? I'm like, you need to be more concerned about packing in the next hour because we need to get out of this hotel room. He goes, all right, I'll be right there. He was still at the con, mind you. He's
like, I'm really worried about my books. I'm like, I can't do anything about this. I don't know. Like, you're not going to get your books, man. Which it happens. I understand people get a little crazy.
Paul was definitely crazy over that kitty book.
Yes.
Send me a picture. Do this. Take a picture with the bag out. I'm like, God damn it, Paul! They're already in the car.
So we get there. We get to the airport. We ride with Sean. It's really nice. It's cool. We drop him off. Then we get into the airport, and Paul's like, "Hey, I'm gonna check in." I'm like, "I'm already checked in. I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna just start going to security, and I'll meet you in there. No problem." I get to security. Some guy, the little like pole things that like a crowd control guideline things. He literally leans on one of them, and it snaps. Right, the cord thing snaps. He hits his head like on the concrete thing, and he's like, I think he's knocked out. Like he's just like all stunned and has no idea and kind of mad. I'm like, bro, you're nothing to be mad about besides yourself. So that causes a big stir. He's not yelling, but he's like trying to motion. People are trying to motion TSA to come over. They're all confused. So that happens. Then I don't see Paul for a long time. And I'm like kind of nervous because I'm looking at the clock. Security's usually long there for some reason. Like the line is ridiculously long, and I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, Paul's not in line yet. I'm like, So I'm like almost up to the metal detectors. I still don't see him. I'm like, okay. I look back. He finally walking up. I kind of give my sigh of relief. Like, okay. We're at the last terminal at like the D exit. If you're in Baltimore, it's like the very last area. So I walk there. He's still not around. I'm like, okay, security. He gets there. I'm like, man, that took you a long time. What happened? So what happened, Paul?
So I check my bag. I pay the check bag fee, which I'm not going to do. I'll do carry on next year for sure. But so I'm in line, and all my drinks are hitting me right now, and I'm just like fidgeting all over trying to figure my bag out. And I had this water bottle, and I drank the water that's left, and this girl in front of me had this water bottle as well, but it wasn't opaque. So I'm like, hey, just to be nice, I'm like, hey, you dumped your water out, right? She's like, just real attitudinal. She's like, yeah, it's empty. I'm like, all right, leave you alone. Jesus Christ. So anyway, I finally make it up the line, but I'm like patting myself down, like, okay, my belt's off, my wallet's out, and I'm like, my effing pocket knife is in my pocket still. I'm like, I'm just gonna risk it. So I tuck it in my book bag. And I run it through, and I'm like, we'll just see what happens. Why not? And also in my fanny pack is the monkey fist. I'm like, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get both. Maybe I'll get none. Why not? Let's end the trip on a note of some caliber. And so I'm going through security, and I make it through the other end, and I see my bag come out in reverse. Back into the x-ray machine, and then get diverted on like the side track. And I'm like, all right, here we go. And so they pull me aside, like, is this your bag? Blah, blah, blah. And they search it, and they pull the pocket knife out, and they're like, you can't have this. And so my options are, I can put it in my check bag, which has already been checked, which doesn't make sense, or I can mail it to myself. And I'm like, it's a $10 pocket knife. I'm like, just keep it, man. And so I don't know what they thought the monkey fist was, if they thought it was nothing or some sort of
bead.
some
I thought
sort
it was
of
a sex toy.
some sort of personal.
It's not your dildo, it's a dildo.
Yes. so that was, so I figured I you know, I'm not going to push it at that point. And so I told him, just keep the knife, man, whatever. And so I got away with the monkey fist. And then I meat up Dino. I was like, what happened, man? I was like, the monkey fist survived.
That actually happened to me once at the airport. I had a pocket knife.
I did too.
I was just like, throw it out.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know that was in there.
And they don't even throw them out. They auction them at there's like a lost luggage or confiscated luggage thing, and they just auction that shit off. But, so we get there, and we have like, I don't know what, Paul, like an hour maybe before our flight.
Oh, plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Paul goes, I'm hungry. I go, okay, bud. There's like a little taco stand here. And I'm like, we'll eat here. Is that cool? He's like, yeah, that's cool. So what happened? Paul's problems went into effect, and we haven't even left yet. What happened, Paul, at the taco place?
Yeah, we both order, and Dino's food comes.
I ordered chips and like salsa. Very easy, dude.
Yeah, and I ordered one taco. And so Dino's food comes, Dino's drink comes, my drink comes. Then we're just kind of sitting there twiddling our thumbs. And then finally the waiter comes back. We're like, hey, Dino flags me out. I was like, hey, kind of waiting on that taco still. So he brings it in like a to-go container. Like the kitchen just didn't know where it went and threw it in a container to go. And I'm like, freaking ridiculous. So then we check out of there, and we have more time. And I was like, all right, I don't know when I'm going to drink again. Thinking that I'm going to really try to be good after Baltimore. So I'm like, I'm going to grab one more drink, Dino.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, God. It's literally like, I'm looking at the clock. It's like, and all I hear is, I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. Like, and he basically, the first drink, he's like, at the taco shop, he's like, does this taste weak to you? I go, okay. I go, let me taste it. What did you have to drink, Paul?
Tito's and Coke, or Tito's and Pepsi, whatever they have.
Yeah, so he's ordering Tito's and Coke. First of all, no one orders Tito's and Coke unless you're like a 20-year-old kid who's just your first drink and have no idea what you're drinking. I go, no, it's not weak, dude. It's just terrible. And so that happened. And then, so basically, he goes to the next bar, and the guy goes, I'll take a Tito's and Coke. And the guy goes, okay. He goes, you want a double? And Paul goes, sure. And then all of a sudden, I hear Paul go, they go, we are now boarding, blah, 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 flight, blah, 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 to Detroit. I'm like, bro, he literally just got a drink. I'm like, you got to pound that, man. We're leaving.
Done.
So he pounds it, and he gets his bill. He's like, they charged me $20 for that. I go, yeah, Paul, it's an airport.
That was expensive ass drink, man.
Yeah, it was. So we get on a flight. It's fine. I get sat in the back. No problems. I don't think you had any problems, did you?
No, I was good. I switched some seats. Some woman was obviously with her family and then in buy seats together, so I swapped her out and got stuck in the middle, but it was probably worse for the people next to me, so it's all good.
So yeah, and then basically we got home, and that was our little story. So that was.
I took Monday off. I'm telling you, man, I'll never take another vacation without having the next day off.
I didn't take Monday off. I got up. It was fine. I was a little tired, but
nope.
I think I shaved to midnight because the girlfriend wanted to hear about the stories and everything. So
yeah, that trip was it topped last year, and I'll do better next year. It's good.
So that was it. I don't even know if anybody else is around, but does anybody else have anything to add?
No, we hijacked the shit out of this.
We did. It's fine.
Is it just us?
I don't know.
No, it's fun hearing it. It's very cool.
I wish you would have been able to come, man.
I'm going to come next year. Yeah, for sure. I told Z, like, starting this month I'm gonna start selling stuff and put money away for tickets and whatever.
We stay at a place where it's like it's cheap-ish, I guess, right? Wait,
Yeah,
Scotty.
it's like 100 and something a night, like 110 or 120.
And like if you can get somebody to room with you, you know what I'm saying? It kind of obviously cuts down on things, but you know how much personal space do you like? Yada yada yada. I mean, we had 3 people. It wasn't bad. Like the third day, it was getting a little rough in the bathroom, but it wasn't terrible. 2 people are probably ideal, but 3 people aren't bad either. So I mean, but
All right, your cat's telling us to wrap it up.
yeah, I think we need to wrap it up. He's like, he's a general. So, I guess that's it, boys. We got 2 weeks. Is like what, the 16th? I don't even know what it is. What is it?
15th.
The 15th.
No,
The 22nd.
Yeah.
20. Oh, we're not gonna have a Halloween show. Oh, okay. 22nd, boys. I think that's it. I mean, what did Jimmy say? Jimmy saying something in the chat. Jimmy, yes, that's you can't do that, but that's okay. I mean, you can, but it can't be awkward. But
man up, Jimmy.
Oh goodness. All I gotta say though, side note is Jimmy is we hooked him up on Sunday and brought him stuff, and like he had his room very dark. Like I told Scotty, he was like Howard Hughes in there. He was like the Howard Hughes.
I'm never drinking again. Those are the words I heard him say.
And he goes, I don't think I can fly today. And I'm like, Sunday, bro. Like, what are you gonna do? Well, it was good times though. Whiskey sours for everybody. Woo! So good time, Jimmy. So yeah, the 22nd, boys. I'm sure we'll have a better show about everything that happened. But all right, boys. We'll catch everybody later.
See ya.
Thanks.
Good night.
Peace.